Hello guys, what is up? Welcome back to my channel Tech Vision. In today's video, we are talking about iOS and Android. So, Google's Android and Apple's iOS are operating systems used primarily in mobile technology, such as smartphones and tablets. Android, which is Linux based and partly open source, is more PC-like than iOS, in that its interface and basic features are generally more customizable from top to bottom. However, iOS uniform design elements are sometimes seen as being more user-friendly. You should choose your smartphone and tablet systems carefully, as switching from iOS to Android or vice versa will require you to buy apps again in the Google Play or Apple App Store. Android is now the world's most commonly used smartphone platform and is used by many different phone manufacturers. iOS is only used on Apple devices such as iPhone. In this video, we are going to talk about the basic difference between iOS and Android, such as interface, user experience, apps available on iOS and Android, stability of apps on Android and iOS, and the operating systems, speed, software upgrades, voice commands, web browsing, last but the most important, security and privacy. So without wasting time, let's start with interface. iOS and Android both use touch interfaces that have a lot in common: swiping, tapping, and pinch and zoom. Both operating systems boot to a home screen, which is similar to a computer desktop, while an iOS home screen only contains rows of app icons. Android allows the use of widgets, which display auto-updating informations such as weather and email. The iOS user's interface features a dock where users can pin their most frequently used applications. A status bar runs across the top on both iOS and Android, offering information such as the time, Wi-Fi or cell signal, and battery life. On Android, the status bar also shows the number of newly received emails, messages, and reminders. User experience differ from person to person. Some things iOS is better than Android and some things Android is way better than iOS. So let's talk about the availability of apps on both Android Play Store and Apple App Store. As of the first quarter of 2020, Android users were able to choose between 2.56 million apps, making Google Play the App Store with biggest number of available apps. Apple's App Store was the second largest app store with almost 1.85 million apps available for iOS. Comparison in stability of apps define that iOS is more stable because hardware and software are built from the same company like OS X and Windows. When you have the control over everything, you can create a better product compared to the one that can run on an endless number of mechanics. Both of them have different operating systems. Historically, iOS was considered to be a more user-friendly operating system compared to Android. However, it's not true anymore. Both platforms have become extremely polished and easy to use, but in general, iOS is slightly simpler and more streamlined, while Android offers more features to power users. Let's talk about the main factor, speed, which saves us the precious time. iOS is generally faster and smoother, and iOS is best known because of its animations, speed, and fluidness. However, it does not provide much customization like Android. Android, on the other hand, uses much more RAM, have more customizations, but slightly provides less performance than iOS. Talking about the software updates, fast software updates for many years, the biggest advantage iOS has over Android is its software updates. Apple generally supports new iPhones and iPads with iOS updates for 5 to 6 years after their release date. and all of those devices get the same updates at the same time. Let's talk about the voice commands in Android and iOS. Apple may have been first out of the voice assistant gate in 2011 with Siri, but Google Assistant runs circles around it, and over the years, Apple has done little to close the gap. In iOS 13, Siri gets a new robotic voice and picks up a few tricks here and there, like searching for watchOS apps on Apple Watch and being able to read and respond to incoming messages through airports and stream radio stations. iOS 13 will also come preloaded with Siri shortcut, but Siri doesn't perform nearly as well as Google Assistant at recognizing and understanding different voices and commands. It's this basic functionality that's at the heart of the issue, but Google Assistant is also integrated tightly into everything you do on your phone and can proactively make recommendations by looking at your calendar and Gmail account for upcoming reservations and appointments. Let's talk about the web browsers in both this. Android uses Google Chrome as its web browser while iOS uses Safari. Both internet browsers are similar in quality and abilities, and Google Chrome is also available for iOS, but Safari is not available for Android. Moving forward, let's talk about the most important and most needed thing, security and privacy. In some circles, Apple's iOS operating system has a long been considered the more secure of the two operating systems. But why? So the answer is Apple's operating system is a closed system. Apple doesn't release its source code to app developers, and the owners of iPhones and iPads can't modify the code on their phones themselves. This makes it more difficult for hackers to find vulnerabilities on iOS powered devices. Android devices are the opposite, relying on an open source code, meaning that the owners of these devices can tinker with their phones and tablets operating systems. Too much tinkering and owners might create a weakness in their devices security. Then there are manufacturers themselves. If a phone maker puts out a new device with a modification to the Android operating system and there's a vulnerability in that code, hackers will find it. Android is more often targeted by hackers too because the operating system powers so many mobile devices today. The global popularity of the Android operating system makes it more attractive target for cyber criminals. Android devices then are more at risk of the malware and viruses that these criminals unleash. So I think both of the operating systems are good at their places and you can go for any one of them. That's all for today's video. Make sure to like, share and comment on this video, and if you are new to this channel, make sure to subscribe it. Thank you.